Few rivalries in rock music are as legendary, or as bitter, as the feud between David Gilmour and Roger Waters of Pink Floyd, together. They created some of the most groundbreaking and emotional music ever recorded, from Dark Side of the Moon to The Wall. Yet behind those masterpieces was a storm of ego, creative tension, and personal resentment that ultimately tore the band apart. For years, both men avoided speaking openly about the rift that ended one of the greatest bands in history. But now, David Gilmour has finally broken his silence, revealing what really happened between him and Roger Waters, and how their feud changed Pink Floyd forever. The seeds of conflict were planted early. When David Gilmour joined Pink Floyd in 1968, he brought technical skill, a soulful voice, and a unique melodic style that elevated the band's sound. But as their success grew, so did Roger Waters' vision and his need for control. By the mid-1970s, Waters had become the dominant creative force, writing most of the lyrics and shaping the band's artistic direction. Albums like Animals and The Wall showcased his genius, but also his increasingly authoritarian grip over the group. Gilmour, who had always valued collaboration, began to feel pushed aside. "It stopped feeling like a band," Gilmour once admitted. "It started feeling like Roger's project, and the rest of us were just along for the ride." In a recent interview, Gilmour opened up more candidly than ever before. He revealed that his relationship with Waters became strained not just creatively but personally. "Roger was brilliant," he said, "but he was also impossible to work with. Everything had to go his way." According to Gilmour, recording sessions often turned into battles, with Waters dismissing ideas, rewriting parts, and even demanding full control over the production. The breaking point came during the making of the final cut in 1983, when Waters insisted on dictating every aspect of the record, effectively sidelining Gilmour and the rest of the band. "That's when I knew it was over," Gilmour confessed. "It wasn't Pink Floyd anymore. It was Roger Waters featuring the rest of us." After Waters left in 1985, he assumed Pink Floyd would end without him. But Gilmour, along with drummer Nick Mason and keyboardist Richard Wright, decided to continue, leading to a bitter legal battle over the band's name and legacy. Waters accused Gilmour of betrayal. Gilmour accused Waters of trying to erase the rest of the band's contributions. The feud lasted decades, playing out in interviews, lawsuits, and subtle jabs through the media. Now, in his later years, David Gilmour has spoken about the feud with more perspective. While he doesn't hide his frustration, he also admits that time has softened some of the anger. "We created something extraordinary together," he said. "But we were never meant to last. We were too different." Despite occasional attempts at reconciliation, like their brief reunion at Live 8 in 2005, Gilmour says he's accepted that they'll likely never work together again. Still, he remains proud of what they built. "The music will always matter more than the fighting," he reflected. "That's the part that lasts." In the end, the feud between David Gilmour and Roger Waters wasn't just about ego. It was about passion, vision, and two artists who cared too deeply to compromise. Their conflict may have broken Pink Floyd, but it also gave birth to some of the most powerful music ever made. And perhaps that's the greatest irony, that the very tension that destroyed them also made them legends.